Alright, welcome ladies and gents. Let's review Tales of the Jedi. This kind of dropped. I wasn't expecting this to drop. I didn't even realise it had released yesterday. I do my Andor reviews typically on Wednesdays and sort of normal videos as well. That didn't appear. I watched Andor, was ready to go, and then yeah, had to watch Tales of the Jedi as well. So you'll get both reviews today. Tales of the Jedi was overall really good. Genuinely, actually, really, really good. This is coming from a very, very casual viewer of Star Wars. I've just watched the movies. Subsequently, from doing this channel, I have now started to watch a lot of the TV shows, but those are only the live action stuff. I remember catching I think it was Clone Wars, which was developed by the same individual animation studio that did Samurai Jack. If that rings any bells at all. This is years ago. So this is casual fan review or casual watcher review. I really enjoyed the Count Dooku episodes. Just full spoilers, kind of. But those episodes were great. From a casual fan or just a casual watcher, someone who, even if you don't remember Count Dooku, these are interesting. Because it shows a character whose motivations are very grey. Very grey area. You know, his motivations are objectively good. But his means to achieve it become grey into the black sort of area. You know, negative, bad, ooh, scary Sith. And yeah, it was really compelling to watch his turn to the dark side and why he ultimately turned. The sort of bureaucratic nonsense of the Senate and the sort of ham-fisted ties that the Jedi High Council put on him. I don't even know if it's called the High Council, so forgive me if it's not. But their sort of restrictive notions of good versus evil and just that ultimate sort of restriction, which was put on them obviously for a reason, because it's to stop people from taking justice into their own hands or whatever, and thus turning to the dark side. But by doing so, it led someone to the dark side. And how Emperor Palpatine, Sheev, was just so ruthless. So ruthless. And Dooku's sort of relationship to Qui-Gon Jinn being his Padawan, it was like a son to him. I didn't know any of this. So I'm watching this and I'm like, this is great. This is compelling. And then Sheev's, Emperor Palpatine's just absolute ruthless reply to Dooku about Qui-Gon Jinn being killed, spoiler alert for The Phantom Menace, by Darth Maul. He's just like, yeah, so we both had people die. We both lost people. It's just like, this is for the cause. Just, wow. It was staggeringly good. All the Count Dooku stuff was great because as someone who doesn't even watch stuff, doesn't watch the Clone Wars or the new animated Bad Batch, all these kind of things, even someone who's not particularly familiar with the prequel saga, you could watch this and enjoy that and go, this is a compelling story. Give me more of that. And then we go to the flip side of it, which is the Ahsoka stuff. Ahsoka is a character that Dave Filoni seems intent on pushing on everyone. Now, I'm aware she's a character that people do love from animated shows, right? I'm aware of that. As a casual fan, watching this, I don't know anything about her, and I didn't learn anything about her. I saw her be born, and basically just miraculously stop a giant saber-toothed tiger from killing her. Oh, it must be the Force. And you're just like, what? So you can communicate with animals now, can you, through the Force? I don't remember that. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys will probably be aware of this. But, yeah, I don't remember that. So this seemed very much like, well, what am I watching here? You're just glorifying this baby, this toddler. I don't know who this is. I don't care. And then we see her training with Anakin Skywalker. And again, I'm just like, but you've already shown that she's the bestest. Because as a baby, she didn't get killed. I just simply couldn't care about it. It was very uninspired. Now, I spoke to a friend of mine. shout out Brian, who is very, very familiar with this character and really liked it because it filled in the blanks. But I disagree that that's a good use for this. This is Tales of the Jedi. Casual viewers are going to watch this. I don't think they want to watch something that is filling in the blanks, because they don't know who the character is. And like I say, the thing about Dooku, it is filling in the blanks, but you don't need to know the other things to follow this story. That's the beauty of this. It's all actually, it's very well written. It's explained. But the Ahsoka stuff was very lacking. And I feel like this is a shame, because she's just being forced on every single show. She's been basically in everything. Literally everything. I think she was in Boba Fett. I think she was in Mando. I can't remember if she turned up in Obi-Wan. But she's in bloody everything. And I've just kind of gotten a bit sick of the character now. I understand that they're building towards her own show, but I don't use the other shows as a vehicle to push her, because it's a bit redundant. Aside from that, the rest of the review, animation was good. It takes a little while to get used to. Like, I'm not familiar with this. I know other people are, and they're familiar with this level of animation. I wasn't. I was a bit like, oof, that looks a bit like PS1. PlayStation 1. But you get into it and you're like, yes, fine, cool, I can enjoy it. And aside from that, the music was actually one of the highlights. It was really, really good. And just seeing, we learned what happened to Yaddle, Yoda's friend on the Jedi Council. A girl Yoda, whatever they're called. We don't know what they're called, do we? So, a girl Yoda. And it's funny as well, because in having girl Yoda, Yaddle chit-chat, we just learned that Yoda just talks funny. He just talks weird, because Yaddle talked perfect English. So Yoda's he's just a quirky old bloke, isn't he, really, basically? No idea, he just talks funny, he just likes to talk funny, does Yoda. But that was brutal, Dooku and Yaddle. That was brutal. So thoroughly enjoyed this, would thoroughly recommend it. Honestly, you could probably skip the Ahsoka stuff. You genuinely could. But all the Count Dooku stuff is a compelling story, even outside of knowing who Count Dooku is and the prequel saga. It's a standalone. You can just enjoy it. And it's very good. It's, it's interesting, because that's the true struggle of good versus evil, isn't it? Because there is no good versus evil. There are, of course, grey areas, and the lines begin to blur when the motivation is positivity. But anyway, let me know what you think if you've seen it. Cheers, guys. Take care.